Hey Cougs, welcome to Beyond the Game. I'm your host Pollo Gutierrez, and today we're going to be discussing the season-ending ACL injury to Rockets guard Fred VanVleet and how Houston can find a way to compete for a championship without him. The Houston Rockets are entering one of the most anticipated seasons in recent memory, following their unexpected rise last year, finishing as the second seed in a rough Western Conference and ultimately losing in a physical 7-game series to Steph Curry and the Warriors. However, even with that first-round exit, the Rockets were seen as a young, hungry team who were just one piece away from being true contenders. So, in the offseason, GM Rafael Stone made a blockbuster trade with the Phoenix Suns to acquire superstar Kevin Durant while retaining most of their key pieces. One of these key pieces being NBA champion and one-time All-Star Fred VanVleet, who averaged 14 points, 3.7 boards, and 5.6 assists on 38% from the field. But VanVleet was much more than a stat sheet, as he is the leader of this young and inexperienced locker room and was one of the biggest reasons why Houston gained the second seed in the first place. However, as you know, just days before the Rockets' first preseason game, VanVleet tore his ACL during a regular practice and has been ruled out for the 25-26 season. So, where does Houston go from here? Well, Houston has multiple paths they could take. Many people have recommended that Houston go out and sign a veteran point guard like Russell Westbrook to replace Fred for the year. And while it does sound fun for Russ to reunite with his old partner KD one more time, it's not really a viable option, because if Houston were to go sign him, or any other player for that matter, they would go over the first apron, which would make things so much more difficult on them with the CBA. So, in point, signing a new free agent really isn't an option. Another possible option is trading for a starting level guard that can give you similar, if not better, production than Fred. Many players like Colin Sexton, Derek White, Kobe White, and Anthony Simons would all be viable fits with the team, and all of them are players that Houston has the assets to trade for without giving up too much. There is a possibility of including VanVleet in the deal, but they would have to wait till December 15th to trade him due to certain restrictions. Still, not a bad option at all. The Rockets could also let third overall pick Reed Sheppard step into his role early. Reed has shown signs of greatness in the small minutes he's gotten, as he averaged 20 points in the games he started last season. And he also has a similar skill set to VanVleet. Some say that he's even better at it. Amen Thompson, another high upside player with superstar potential, who has shown to be able to play the one and be a viable playmaking option. However, both of these players would need time to solidify their roles as primary ball handlers on the squad. Time that the Rockets may not have, considering that Kevin Durant is 37 and doesn't have many more years of championship level play in him. And if the goal is to maximize his window, maybe this isn't the best route to take. As a lifelong Rockets fan, I believe Houston should try a little bit of everything. They should let the Young Bucks take control for the first quarter of the season. To me, I think Reed and Amen are both packed full of potential and could turn into even better players than Fred. That being said, if things aren't going in the right direction, I think a trade is definitely the way to go, considering the amount of assets we have and how many excellent guards are available on the market. My personal pick would be Kobe White. I think he's a great high-volume scorer and ball handler who has proven himself with his time on the Bulls. He's also young enough to where I can very well see him being here after the KD era is over, and we would have our primary guards set for the future. All in all, I'm not too worried for Houston. I definitely think it hurts them, but not enough to knock them out of contention, especially with the many viable options they have to replace Freddie. And we wish him our best and hope to see him on the court healthy as soon as possible. What do you think? Do you think Houston season is over, or do you think it's a new door opening for something special? Let us know in the comments. Well, Cougs, that's it for this episode of Beyond the Game. I'm your host, Pollo Gutierrez, and I'll catch you on next time. Go Cougs.